Welcome everybody to Tectonic Takes. I have a special guest here with me today. You guys all know him. I mean, he's been to the Earthquakes 2 times, scored a whole bunch of memorable goals, and actually had the biggest moment at a Quakes stadium that actually hit the Richter scale a little bit, higher than any other goal. So this is Simon Dawkins. What's up, man? How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Very good. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. So
yeah. I'm so excited. How I kind of reached out to you on Facebook, added you as a friend a long time ago. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna ask Simon Dawkins, and I really appreciate you coming on, man, taking the time out of your day. This is really awesome.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you for having me. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah. So Simon's actually in England right now, and I'm in Japan. So this worked out a little bit better for the both of us. So it definitely works out because I mean, we're on the same day while America, is on the day before. So definitely good link up. All right. So quick shout out to all of the Patreon guests that we have. Thank you for supporting our show. And let's get right into it. So Simon, you played in England. You were born in London. You ended up playing for the Jamaican team. So you have parents from Jamaican descent, correct?
Yeah. So I started off actually the youth teams playing for England. 16, 17, 18s, up until 20s, I think it was. And I had a bad injury at the time when I was at Tottenham the first time. So I kind of left sort of the England setup. And then obviously, as my career started to move forward again after the successful time at San Jose the first time, Jamaica, sort of talking, media, stuff like that. Yeah. And then, it happens. And I'm thankful for it because, I got to play so many games and go to different places. So it's amazing.
Right. And so how did that whole thing happen? Did someone from Jamaica give you a call? Were you like, well, myself being, my parents are from, or you probably don't know, but the fans know, my parents are from Uruguay. So I feel like it's kind of like I'm American, but my parents are from Uruguayan descent.
Right.
So it's that same ordeal. You have two cultures really, and you do feel part of both cultures. So it's like, it's the coolest thing in the world to at least represent your parents' nation and your nation too, because you grew up in all those customs and everything. So it must have been such a great feeling putting on that shirt.
Oh, it was unbelievable. I think I didn't realize because I remember playing for my first game there when I was in that country, in Jamaica. Just the amount of fans, and I had so many family members in the stadium I had no idea about. It was amazing to see that. My granddad, before he passed away, he got to see me play, and I knew he was so happy. And even just being there as well, I got to see, like I said, different family members. So
right.
Yeah, I loved it. It was a great experience. And the team had, I think, in our starting 11, we had 10 English-based players playing. And then we were either playing in the Premiership or the Championship at the time. Yeah. So it was like,
Yeah, right.
And we just go to play for our national team. Jamaica.
It's like England of the CONCACAF.
Pretty much, that's what it was. Yeah, really.
But that's awesome. So you definitely had a little bit of experience in the MLS the first time around. When you were playing in the MLS or playing for the Earthquakes the first time around, when you first got the call out or first found out about the loan, what did you think of this, San Jose? Like, what is San Jose, right?
Yeah. So it's a funny one. I don't know if anybody knows, but I just come off a 2.5-year injury.
Yeah.
So I was at Tottenham. I just went back to Tottenham and then signed again. So I actually was released because of my injury. Signed back again. And then San Jose in 2011, they were there for pre-season.
Yeah.
Frank Gallup was the manager.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right.
That partnership.
Yeah, exactly. So I was there training for Tottenham, and I think David Beckham was there as well, training with Tottenham.
Oh wow!
But, Frank Gallup is the one that signed him at LA Galaxy.
Right.
I remember having a word with David Beckham and him sort of saying, "Look, this is my manager that I played out there. Would you go out there for like a a year or whatever, I did a training session with San Jose at Tottenham, and spoke to Frank, and he spoke highly of everything. Said, yeah, you'll love it, etc. And then we got the deal done, and it was a first initial 1 year loan. And just the next few days, I was just packing to leave.
Wow!
So it was amazing. It was a good experience, and obviously, I had no idea what it was like. But training with the players, everyone made me feel welcome, and obviously, I was still here in this country. So for them to do that, and I just thought, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Get some game time. The players are lovely. They're really talented, and I thought, let's go for it. So that was the first time.
Yeah, that's a great story. Really quickly, when you were training with them, did it seem like, wow, these guys, like, they have some sort of grit to them? You know, like, did they seem like they were like, you know, the typical American team where it was like, oh, these guys play really physical, but in England they play pretty physical as well, but maybe a little more ragtag?
Yeah, no. Do you know what? I did sense that, obviously, physicality, but I mean, you look at the 2012 year. A lot of players were there from the 2011.
Yeah.
They're really good players, really good players.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't have any idea really about the league, the MLS, or anything like that. You know, I was just in my own little bubble in England and stuff like that. And when I trained with them, I thought, wow, like, players here are really good. You know, and that's what made my decision. I want to go, and I want to play. And I feel really welcome with that. And, I mean, we had so many good players at the time,
right?
Who I felt
stellar
like
team.
And it was the comparison was quite similar. So I said, you know what, this is perfect, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. So
yeah. And so once, kind of the timeline of your career right now, once you had your first stint at San Jose, then you went back to Tottenham, and then you were loaned to Aston Villa, correct?
Yeah. So after I did 2011, I went back to England. I'm still contracted, obviously, to Tottenham.
Yes.
I just wanted to go back.
Yeah, of course.
I just wanted to go back to San Jose. So I came back here. I wasn't really in the first team setup, like we were getting on the bench or anything, or playing. So I said, look, I enjoyed my time in 2011. I felt like I was just sort of getting going.
Yeah.
And then the season ended.
Right.
And then now I'm in the middle of the English season. So I was just like I wish the American season carried on, because I was just getting going. I was enjoying it.
Right.
And I thought to myself, you know what? I really want to go back. And then managed to make it happen. And then went back obviously to 2012. And
right.
That was an unbelievable season. I mean, talk about athletics. And I enjoyed that as well. And then even after that, I actually wanted to sign. I wanted to sign for San Jose. I said to Tottenham,
wow.
You know, I said to Tottenham, I want to go there now. I want to stay there, forge my career there.
Yeah.
But there was like a lot of money issues, etc.
Of course.
After 2012, I mean, they put me on like a different contract after that. Like it was an even bigger contract, and then it was like, well, no, you're going to be here now for the first team. And I was thinking to myself, okay, but am I playing? Because if I'm not playing, I want to stay at San Jose. I enjoy it there. The fans, they seem to love me there. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I feel home. And it just didn't happen. And obviously had to stay in England, and then eventually went on loan to Aston Villa. So it was a weird one, but I managed to make my way back.
Yeah, right. Really, like, looking at this timeline of your career, you have some crazy stories. I mean, just dealing with like the behind the scenes stuff. There's a lot of fans clamoring about this club not having the best funds in the world. So it makes sense back in the day too. So it definitely, it's okay to hear that, you know. So you're loaned to Aston Villa, and then loaned to Derby County that year after, and then you had a permanent transfer at Derby. Did you feel at home with Derby finally in England? Like you were getting solid playing time? Like this was the place you wanted to go?
Yeah, because obviously after my Aston Villa stint, it was a great experience for me. I feel like I wasn't quite ready in my mind mentally for that loan. Yeah. But I really thought I was going to come back to San Jose. Yeah. And it sort of happened so quickly, because I was literally setting up an apartment again for the next year to say I'm coming back to California. And then it sort of just was like, no, you're not. You're staying. You're going here now. So literally I just was like off to Aston Villa. And Simon the last day of January, deadline day.
Oh, yeah. That's
and
tough.
I literally 2 days before, I thought, well, even 2 days, a couple hours before, I thought I was actually going back to San Jose. So, yeah, that was quite tough in terms of that mentally. And I went there, and it was so that whole month of January, I wasn't at peak fitness, you know.
Yeah.
I wish I was, but I didn't. And then obviously had that stint, went back to Tottenham, and then Steve McLaren decided to take. Basically, I was going to go to QPR, Queens Park Rangers.
Oh wow!
Steve. So I went there to train. Harry Redknapp was there, who I had at Tottenham before.
Oh, wow.
Steve McLaren was the coach, and he basically just said to me, "I'm going to get a job in the next week somewhere." And basically, look, I'd like you to be my signing. Didn't know where it was, and then it comes to be Derby, and he invited me up and trained there, and then end up signing a loan deal to January.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable experience. Fans there were like singing my name to sign, etc. And I thought, wow, okay, because in my mind now, this whole year has just been up and down.
Right.
Here, I'm there, I'm here, and then eventually Derby put in a bid to Tottenham to make my transfer permanent in January, and then managed to sort it out, go back and forth, sort it out, and then end up signing. So that was the story of that year. It was just a crazy one, and then found a home in Derby, obviously.
And you had a couple great years at Derby, and then after your Derby experience, then you're like, I want to come home. I want to come home to San Jose. Is that right?
Yes. So I mean, in this time of my Derby experiences, there's so many stories. Honestly, there's so many different things going on in my life, from going to Derby to just before I got to San Jose. And at the time of me going back to San Jose, John Doyle was reaching out to me. I was doing well for Jamaica while I was at Derby. And he said, look, we want to make you a signing here. Come home. And I've always said, like I said before, you've seen it probably in the media, that I've always wanted to return.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave.
Right.
And it came at that point. But looking back on it, it had to be done then. It couldn't have done any other time, because I feel like the opportunity would have went away. And I'd been later on in my career. So I wanted to make sure I come in a good time of my career. But the problem is mentally I wasn't in a good state. So obviously I lost my mum in 2015, a year before, not even a year. It was 8 months, I think.
Wow. So
the decision to come back to San Jose was, I want to go home. I want to go somewhere where I'm happy. Don't want to be anywhere else. And I want to build it from there. But I just wasn't ready in my mind. So that's unfortunate for me, but I still wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah.
And I heard you speak about this a little bit on some videos, but you chose the number 49 because of your mother. Is that correct?
Yes. She was 49. I remember before I was signing, John Doe was going through the numbers with me, and it was like, I mean, for other people, numbers are a big thing for me.
Right.
I look at different numbers like, they're ugly numbers, etc.
Well, you're English, right?
Exactly. All the good ones were taken. I actually wanted number 8. I wanted number 8. And I just realized on the second, that's Chris Wondolowski.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Not gonna happen. I said, there's no way that's happening. And then I thought, you already had a number 10 there. It was
PG.
Perez Garcia.
Yeah,
PG, yeah. And then I thought, you know what? Nah, I had a word with my family. We thought, let's go for 49. That'd be good. And that was it, really. I tried to honor in that way.
Yeah, that's an awesome way. Actually, when I first I bought your jersey too. So when I first saw the number, I was like, oh, that's really unique, right? And then I finally find out why, like years later. So I was like, oh, that's I might as well ask you about it, because that's such a sweet story. I mean, she was always with you on the field, and that must have gave you an extra push every time you were out there.
It did. It definitely did. I mean, I remember when I first saw it hung up in the dressing room, I thought, wow, like this is amazing. Like, because I've never obviously chosen a number before like that. And obviously in England, when you have a number that high, it's you're one of the younger players.
Oh,
that they don't go that high. So that was I thought, you know what, I'm going to change and be a bit more unique with this.
Yeah.
And my mum in that way. And so it was nice to do.
That's awesome. And so did John Doyle just call you? How did it happen? How did it come to fruition?
Yeah, so during that year of 2015,
mm-hmm.
I went to the Gold Cup with Jamaica,
correct,
Copa America,
mm-hmm.
and played against all these big teams. It was amazing, and we had a World Cup qualifiers as well. What happened is I was doing so well internationally, especially, and he gave me a few emails here and there, and just said, "We've got a new coach, Dominic Kinnear. We're really interested in you." And I just said, the first time he did, I said I was honest. I said, I still got 2 more years left at Derby. I'm not sure what the situation is, and I think Derby just said he's not for sale the first time. And obviously at Derby it went a bit sour because obviously what happens with my mum, etc.
Yeah.
And then the next time he came around, I said, "Listen, I'm actually interested in this," to John, and I spoke to Derby, and then we sort of made it happen, and it went from there really. And he was happy, awesome. I was happy, and he was trying to come out to see a game actually for Jamaica, but couldn't, but then managed to make it work in 2016.
Yeah, and so for the Copa America, you guys played at Levi's, is that correct? Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara.
Yes.
Yeah.
We played 2 Copa Americas. I can't remember.
It was for the Centenario, the 100-year anniversary, correct?
That's the one. Yeah. That's the one. Yeah.
I saw you play. I was at that game. Jamaica game.
Yes. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up.
No worries.
Yeah. It was. You're right. Yeah, I remember showing my fellow teammates around because obviously this is home for me.
Yeah. Right. You knew exactly where to go.
That was good. Yeah, it was there. Right. You reminded me right now.
No worries. That's what I'm here for. But it's a stellar career. And then after, so a lot of people don't know what you did after the Quakes. You went to Ipswich Town. How did that go?
Yeah. It was again it was good because obviously after San Jose, it was a difficult time. There's obviously that period from Derby going to San Jose. There's that difficult time, and I took some time out just to sort of get my mind right mentally. Then I ended up going to Ipswich. Paul Lambert, who signed me at Aston Villa, who's the manager there, went there, but I wasn't fit at all. So I had to do sort of another pre-season. I was only there for 6 months. 3 months of that was me getting fit. I was in no condition. Yeah. And
was the conditioning at San Jose just not up to par, or was it just
no? So San Jose was fine. It was I came back and took some time out. I didn't train, I didn't do anything, and then that's when it was just a bit like, all right, now I'm gonna go back into it again. And then Ipswich end up signing. I wasn't fit, so I couldn't play. And then at the end of it, when the season ended, I was sort of getting fitter. So that's the reason why that happened. But it was good to go there and get that sort of under my belt.
Yeah. And so a lot of our fans actually still want to know, are you currently playing, or do you have any plans to play? Or are you retired?
Yeah. So I'm still playing. I'm actually training at Tottenham at the moment.
Okay.
Get my fitness back up because, like I said, it's just been up and down in terms of the last few years. But I am currently playing, and hopefully signing somewhere very soon. But also thinking about, as I'm getting older now, 33, I'm thinking about the next steps after that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's hopefully exciting times to come in the next few years.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have a question on here too. Would you like to coach sometime in the future? Let's go ahead and ask you.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. I mean, I've joked around about it a few times when I was at San Jose.
Yeah.
But I mean, one day I'd love to be a part of the setup there.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, San Jose is like home.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It is really like home. And I went there for when I was so young.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure the fans have seen me then, and then obviously see me now. I'm a different person, and I look at it as that was part of my journey to grow.
Yeah.
And
the craziest part about it is when you left San Jose, you were becoming I guess a professional, right? So when you came back, it was like, oh, this is like a whole brand new Simon Dawkins. It's like an older, more groomed.
It was definitely older, more groomed. Obviously, I'll touch on it now. It was just obviously disappointing in terms of my second spell there because I wanted so much different. Again, after that terrible time in 2015, personally, I wasn't right mentally. Fans didn't know that, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm there to do my job, so that's what I'm judged on.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know, maybe it should have been a bit more. Maybe I should have took a bit more time out. I don't know, so I can get my mind right and give everybody, that person in 2011, 2012, but a better version of. No, of course, but it touches me a bit more because I had such a good spell there, and I knew coming back, I wanted to be, and I wanted to show actually the person that I've become, the player that I've become.
Yeah.
I felt like towards the middle of 2016, end of 2017, I think you've seen I started to score a bit more goals.
Yeah. Yeah.